good afternoon everybody, and today we are at a very unusual place. It's actually a palace. It's Mogoșoaia Palace, which is on the outskirts of Bucharest. It is now a park and museum, and apparently it's noted for its English garden. And of course, as we're walking towards the entrance, I look over to my right, and this, I suppose, could pass as an English garden. Just have a quick look here before we go any further. And certainly the English do plant like this, with rose bushes surrounded by a small low hedge. But I'll just show you that as before we actually go in the building. Wanya and Poppy are with me today. There's every possibility though Poppy will be banned from entering into the complex here. But regardless, we will push on. Oh, this is quite a beautiful ancient relic, I think. I don't know what the history is here, but I'm going to show you it. This column. This is I think this is their English garden. What do you think? Do you think it looks English?
It does, but I don't think that this is the main garden. I think
it's probably just part of the English garden.
Yeah.
And we've got Poppy, and Poppy's pretty good today. She's being quite obstructive, and she's walking around people's legs trying to trip you over. So I don't think she's in a happy mood today. Right, now we're heading into the main complex. We'll see how we go with the dog here.
That's the 17th century church.
Oh, look at this church. Hang on, let's go before we go any further. Let me just show you this. Look at this beautiful church, 17th century.
And it was built by the same man that built the palace.
Well, the palace was built between, I believe, 1698 and 1702. It took 4 years to build.
It is open, the church.
Oh, look at this church.
This is actually something very rare, because in Romania the churches are almost exclusively always open.
And here we have another locked church. Oh, mind you, we have come across one or two.
Oh, you can tell you're in Eastern Europe because you still have things like that you can't see in other countries. I'll translate this.
Sorry.
It says here the rules for entering the church. One of them is, it is not permitted to enter the holy church wearing indecent outfits such as short skirts, pants that fit too tight your body, short pants,
Oh God.
tops, or anything that shows your hands.
Women are disgusting creatures,
Yes.
aren't they? Why do they
I
allow them?
would've been safe
Why
today.
are they allowed inside churches? But anyway, coming back to what I was saying, it's a beautiful door. Look, I mean, this is a really beautiful door. Quite a nice original way of padlocking it,
It's wood.
and it's wooden carved. And we have this beautiful screen at the top in the arch. It looks like St. George killing the dragon. It is St. George. And St. George features quite popularly in Romanian history as it does in English history. But it's a shame the church is shut, but I'll be honest with you now, I'm not surprised at all. Every church I've been to has been locked. Let's go around the side, just show you the side view. And look at these crosses. Oh, wow. Aren't they beautiful? Look at this. Wow, that's all carved. And this is the side view of the church. I'll give you a quick view. Bum, ba-dum. And we're really lucky today, aren't we? Because it is sunny.
Yes.
Right, let's go in and see what Poppy creates for us in terms of the dog's not allowed in here. Let's go for this gate. Okay, we're coming into the palace. Poppy, if you see me suddenly stop and move sharply to the left or right, it's because Poppy walked under my legs. Okay, this is the palace. I mean, it is actually built in the Romanian
Style.
Renaissance style, and it is quite unique in that regard because the actual builder was a man called What was his name?
Brâncoveanu.
Yeah, Brâncoveanu.
We can walk there and you can see from the top.
Okay, should we go to the top? It's not often we get the opportunity to visit a palace, and I really don't hold out any hope of actually being allowed inside, because you don't find that much in Romania. They tend to lock people out. This is a beautiful estate. It was subsequently, during the Romanian-Turkish War, which I believe was in the 18th century, it was badly damaged by the Turks. It was restored and rebuilt, and it existed well up until World War II, when after World War II the communists took over and the peasants basically looted the entire site. So all its works of art, and it had a huge art collection, was stolen. I have no doubt that some of it was stolen by the communists themselves. And of course, I believe in the 50s it was turned into a park and museum. So yes, it's a beautiful view from here, really beautiful. What do you think of this place?
It's surrounded by water. It is beautiful. I haven't been here in 20 years. But
What about you, Poppy? What do you think?
yeah, where's the squirrels?
Yeah, squirrels. Yeah, squirrels have gone to bed, Poppy. Can you feel the heat as you step through there? Where's that heat coming? Oh, it's there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering where the heat was coming from. But there's a building below us, and that was the chimney. Reminds me a bit when we were in Denmark. Again, everything was built from brick. And of course this is 17th century brick that we're looking at. And you can see an early brick, and that's all the way through Europe. You can see how thin the brick actually is. I mean, the later brick that came in the 19th century was much thicker and broader, but this is very, very thin, almost like roof tiles. And look at this, the gatehouse itself. We've taken the view from the top of the gatehouse. Let's have a look at from behind. When you look at those arches, it has a Venetian style about it, don't you think? When they talk about the Romanian style of Renaissance, but it does look very much like the Venetian style of Renaissance. The sun is very, very bright today. There's a beautiful gateway coming down on the right. Let's have a look at this first. And as you can see, hopefully, there is a figure like Britannia sat on a throne with what looks like a male and female, both with their arms. Obviously, it signifies some event, probably the Romanian-Turkish War. So beautiful, isn't it? And I just spin around very quickly here, and you can see the grounds are extensive. There's a huge lake next door to us. It is a really beautiful resource. Should we go down to the right? I was just admiring the stonework above there, look.
It is beautiful. But
She almost got me again, didn't she?
I think that you can visit inside, in which case I would be probably at this time.
Yeah, because it's... Well, walk around the front first and I'll look at this building. I'm not sure you'll see it in the light that we're standing under, but it is a magnificent building. We'll go to the front. Yes, it's starting to turn cold now, And we're almost in December, which I think is pretty good going. Again, we've got the wind. Apologies for that. If it gets really bad, you'll hear music. Oh wow, look at this. Look at this building, isn't this beautiful? And the view is superb. And here we are, and yeah, it certainly has a Venetian quality about it, don't you think, with the open gallery?
So originally it would have been plaster.
Yes, yeah, it would have been plastered originally, because obviously brick was cheaper than stone, and you only use real stone for the display items. And this is the view of the water in front. I should imagine in the day when the other embankment was probably just fields, this must have looked quite superb.
Exactly. Oh yeah, it would have been fields for sure. This area. Hence the location.
And of course, you can imagine people arriving by boat rather grandly, so it has its own quay, which is down here. The light is very bright here, unfortunately. But yeah, people would have arrived here by boat. The boat would have been tied up here, and they would have walked through the grand entrance to the rear of the property, which you can see in front of us. And Poppy's up to no good as usual. What are you up to, Poppy? Oh yes, she is. Yeah, stupid is what stupid does. Welcome to Poppy. So yes, this is very, very grand and very beautiful. What we're going to do now, we're going to put Poppy back in the car, and hopefully we'll be allowed to wander around inside the building and film. I'll keep my fingers crossed on that one, and we'll hopefully speak to you again very shortly. Okay, I'm back online again very briefly before we go in the museum. The only reason is we've come across more of these gardens. This is the so-called English garden. And I suppose you could loosely base it on a Tudor knot garden, would be the nearest comparison. Except this garden is full of roses. It's not full of any other plants of interest, just different types of roses. So this is the English garden. There's a mausoleum. Oh, let's go and see the mausoleum. Okay, we're going to go and look at the mausoleum, which I can put money on will be locked. I mean, why allow people in to look at these things? Oh, look at this column. This is beautiful. It's actually a griffin on a pedestal base. So this is one of the follies in the garden. The carving work on there is absolutely sublime. Anyway, Poppy's having a good mad run around for 20 minutes. Yeah, here we are. We're coming up to what looks to be the mausoleum, partially concealed from the surface, obviously built into the ground. It's rather a cute entrance.
The family
It's the family of Prince Nicolae Bibescu, who was one of the occupants here at the palace. And here's a story here, which I think dates to about 1902.
Prince George Bibescu, born in Bucharest, 14th of March 1834, son of George Bibescu, ruler. Domnitor means king,
Yeah.
of the Romanian country, chosen by people for life, and son of Zoe Mavrocordat. It's like concert. And then it just has his story. The
What about
campaign
Mexico?
in Mexico
Oh
campaign.
yeah. What
that
was the
took
Mexican
place
campaign?
in, I'm gonna have to apologize. I need to go and watch a copy of this.
Okay.
So,
So he was involved in the Mexican campaign in
Yeah.
1862.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was his order that started the attack on Puebla on 5 May 1862. Cavalier of Honor of Legion of Honor, State Major Captain. So I can imagine he has quite a few. He was Prince of the Romanian country. At that time Romania was not united. This part where we are here, in this area, Bucharest and this Muntenia, was never part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire ever.
So how did he end up in Mexico? He must be working for them.
I have no idea, but this part here, that's what it says, that is ruler of the Romanian country here. Because Romania was split into different areas.
Yeah.
But this area that we're in, Muntenia, was never ever taken over by the Austro-Hungarian Empire. That was in Transylvania that they had rule.
So I can only surmise on what I've just told you, based purely upon the fact that I know they did put a member of the family, the Habsburg family, I think, was put on the throne there to have their own king. It didn't last long, and I'm wondering perhaps that's how he got sucked into it. I don't know. It's something worth looking for, isn't it, and researching. And I'm sure below you'll see an explanation.
Yes.
Okay, it is locked, isn't it? Because they're all locked. Everything's locked. Yep, here's the gates and into the mausoleum. Oh, and you can see just inside at the bottom there. Not a lot of detail there, I'm afraid, but there it is. There's like a memorial stand at the back on a pedestal.
In those niches in the side.
And on the left and right would have been where they would have incarcerated the corpses, the bodies of those who are buried here. Ah, interesting.
Not very grand for
Not really, no.
what they had. Most of the palaces in Bucharest belonged to them at one point.
So it'd be interesting to find out why he was involved with Mexico. That's interesting. Anyway, let's push on. We're going to make our way towards the palace. And there's a beautiful orangery on the right. Did you see that?
And there's a nice house as well.
Yeah.
Nice house.
A nice house as well. Good. Look at that. This is a beautiful park though, isn't it?
It is. But people come here quite often because it's not really kilometers that far away. And puppies a lot, so
Are they? Have you checked?
dogs on the estate here are allowed.
Oh, that's good.
Not in the...
Obviously, no. I think we've accepted that long ago when we first came here.
But that happens everywhere, even in England,
Yeah.
in manor houses. Orléans was the same.
Well, again, it's owned by a state-run organisation, isn't it?
And after seeing the damage puppy does inside of the house, I can't blame them.
There's a beautiful orangery on the right, so we can have a look at that first as we go round. Because we're going to go back and put Poppy back in the car first. Just briefly while we wander inside the museum. So, if we turn right here, Poppy's leading the way. When you first come here, the whole building does look rather plain, but when you actually get closer to it, and you can see the detail, especially in the doorways and some of the stonework, it's quite an impressive building. Okay, this is the orangery. Oh, you better grab a honey. There's a cat up there that will.
Bobby. Come here.
Cats aren't allowed in Poppy's world. Okay, I'm just going to walk over to the orangery. This is quite an impressive glass house, isn't it? I mean, nothing on the scale of Kew, but certainly it certainly has a certain quality about it. But of course, it's not full of orange trees. It's just garden shrubs and other plants, which they obviously overwinter inside the glass house. There'll be stock plants in there for next year as well. As you can see in here, there's a number of subtropical plants, and then down here, as you can see, trays for further plant growing, but no orange trees. But that's what it was built for. Okay, now we're coming out of another gate, and again quite interesting columns, which again reminds me of Venice. It does remind me of Venice.
We must have missed the ice cream somewhere, because that's what the signs say. Tower of the Gate Palace.
Yeah.
With Mia, which is like a storage room for things. Then it's the
We'll look for it a bit when we come back, but first of all we're going to go off camera. We're going to take Poppy back to the car, because unfortunately they don't like dogs inside these buildings, and then we're going to return on foot and have a wander around briefly to have a look at what's inside the museum. Okay, we're now recording. I've put my camera rather sneakily on my body, so hopefully it's not going to detract too much from the quality. We're going to wander into the museum and see if they stop us. Okay, into the mouth of the dragon we will go.
That is of course that they accept credit cards.
Well, there's a guy filming there, look, I'm sure he hasn't paid 100. I doubt it.
And hopefully the POS is working for the museum, for the palace, otherwise I need to go to find an ATM.
Ask him if it's not right to take photos. I doubt it. I'll walk in, you walk in front of me, and then they won't see me as we go in. Sorry. Do you have to, you're allowed to, I mean, I know you're taking photos, but are you allowed to take pictures here officially?
Yeah.
Because the security guard challenged a couple and said he's going to charge them 100, or is it 100 euros?
I don't think it's serious. I think they're just doing it to finesse. I don't know, maybe. And if it is, just try to be low key with it. Don't be so like, don't be so don't be open with it. Don't be open with it. Yeah.
No.
Don't be open with it. I don't think it's illegal though. I mean, maybe in the museum it might be illegal.
Yeah.
In the park, I don't.
But not outside. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's a finesse. It's a finesse, man. But if anything, just don't be so like open with it.
We're going to go in there and see what happens. Nice seeing you.
Thanks. I don't even know the entrance to this place, honestly.
I'm
No,
behind.
this is not. This is for the
Oh, it's just-
windows. This
Oh, it's
is
for the frescoes.
It's painting
Oh,
on
icons,
glass.
yeah.
So I don't know where the entrance is.
Okay, we're going to find the entrance.
I like the doors.
I think the entrance is a little bit further up to the left. Let's find our way through. I think it's through here actually, but it's locked.
Okay, try not to talk. You go.
Okay, we're in. And as far as I can see, we're in the toilet block here, which is not very imposing. Let's wander down here. Oh wow, it's just one large empty room. It's supposed to be a museum. How very strange. I mean, I thought we were seeing a museum, but it appears to be an art gallery, and more of a contemporary art gallery than anything historic, and showing the work of the fire brigade in riots. Oh, look at this beautiful staircase. Hope you can see it. Oh, wow, that is absolutely gorgeous. Yes, it's more of a contemporary art gallery here than anything that resembles a museum. Whoops. That way? No, round the other way. Eintritt verboten. Okay, let's go back. So it looks at the art gallery. They're playing classical music in the background. Oh wow, this is beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Wow. No. Yes? Oh, excellent. This is really beautiful. I know, I was explaining that there's a pianist. This is beautiful, isn't it? Lovely building. Uh-huh. Look at this room here, look. Just to let you know, whenever I see anybody, I'll walk out straight away. So, because of the fact that we're filming. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah? Oh, look at this beautiful trunk, isn't it? It's really exquisite. What do you think of this place? This is Romanian art, folks. This is their heritage, their culture. Griffins.
That's a symbol of the Romanian country, the eagle. with the crosses as well.
Oh yeah, eagles. Yeah, there's eagles on pilastered supports on the ceiling, which you can't see unfortunately. And look at the detail on this door here. Huh. I know, it's really, really lovely. And of course, if you're a prince or princess, you have to have a throne, don't you? Part of the job. And what does this say, honey? You can read the lingo.
It's in English as well.
Yeah.
Throne, royal armchair, Potlogi Church, 19th century.
So 19th century throne armchair. Mm. And that looks like a lectern.
That is, yeah, where they would have the Bible.
Yeah.
And this client analog Wallachian workshop. When every time you hear Wallachian, you refer to this area.
Oh right, okay.
We're Wallachia.
Wallachia.
Remember the connection with Dracula, with Vlad
Bran
Tepes?
Castle.
No, with Vlad Tepes. She was the king of Wallachia.
Oh, he's the king of Wallachia, yeah. Of course, this was built way after Vad left this world, so there's no connection with him here. And these original rugs. Look at these, aren't they beautiful?
If you look at monks in the country house, you know that we have one like that.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely massive as well. It's in a little room there outside.
It's quite
We'll take that
magnificent.
for our house.
Yeah.
And it's very old.
Let's wander through. Okay, we're into another room, and look at this hanging. I'll step back a bit.
This was
This
a
is
tradition in
amazing.
Romania, which this would have been something that you would have seen in a church painted. Is the ones that build the church, as you go in, they're always portrayed. Their family, the men on one side, the women on the other side, and they're always portrayed. And if you see their roles in the church, then we filmed outside in their hands.
Oh yes, yep, we saw that outside.
So
Just a shame we can't get in there. Okay, we've got to be careful now. So I'm just covering this. Okay, we've now walked into another room, and we're next to the concert. It's hard to imagine that this house was full of beautiful antiques and tapestries, but are sadly no longer. Look at this doorway.
I love the stories. This is stories in the Romanian French. And this is stories about great families and great characters. And this one, and the one, that was an amazing. I always thought I have to buy a book.
It's a
with
book
her
about her,
biography.
yes.
Yeah.
And who was she?
Let's see, that's in French. No, it doesn't say. She was writing as well.
Okay,
She was
it's
a countess.
it's a bit loud now, so it's not going. The camera's not going to pick up the audio. Let's just. Okay, we're now going off camera. Hope you've enjoyed this wander around, but I think we're pushing our luck a bit now. We're coming back down to the entrance, so hopefully we'll be back soon, won't we? Okay, we've now got into the basement area, so the camera's back on. You see, again, we were talking about the Habsburgs, weren't we? And their emblem was the double-headed eagle. So I don't know.
I can don't even know really what the Habsburgs were.
Oh, look at this basement! Wow, is this not cool? And look at the artwork that's
The
here.
original.
Oh, this is so beautiful.
Yeah. This is the first one from the church that they have
Yeah?
unpeeled.
Hopefully you folks can see some of this at least anyway. This is so beautiful. And remind also the viewers that I think up until the 18th century they still used Cyrillic script in Romania.
It is.
And it was only after that period that they westernized
Yes.
the language.
This is a strange scene because you see someone that's a saint. He's a saint because he's got the
Yeah.
aura, but he's slicing someone's throat.
Yeah, I know, but you see, when you actually go back and look at the Bible, it is a book of revenge and retribution, apart from a wise guide for people for their lives. But it also encompasses things that today that we would find very unpleasant. For example, you could go into a neighbouring village and take your wife from any one of the women in the village, which was slavery, but that was permitted in the Bible. So yeah, I think some of the earlier interpretations are quite violent, to say the very least. I mean, we can look at some of these paintings and frescoes and we can see there's some very unpleasant scenes taking place. There's two people here, they look like they're begging for their lives. And there's someone standing over them with a sword.
Oh no, you know what that is? It's Lazarus' resurrection.
Oh, the resurrection of
So
Lazarus.
They're basically, they saw him coming out, so they're.
But yeah, we see the man holding the sword though, and it just, the whole imagery, yeah, but you're right. I can see it in the text at the bottom. Oh, look at this. This is in much better detail than the others.
This is the martyrium to saints, and God knows why they have put this the wrong way, upside down.
Yeah, that's a bit weird, almost a little bit satanic actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, why have they displayed this upside down?
because I understand if they would have been crucified upside down, but then the scene in the back would have been normal.
Yeah,
But the whole scene is upside down.
that's really weird. And the same with this one here as well. There's two panels, which obviously fitted into a curved ceiling position, which are now inverted, which doesn't make sense. But the artwork here is truly awesome, isn't it? It's beautiful. Oh, look at this. I mean, this is quite contemporary, but isn't this beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. And so there you have it, folks. The hidden art is actually in the basement and not upstairs on main display. This is the real art as far as I'm concerned. It is absolutely wondrous, it's beautiful. And this is such a suitable chamber to exhibit it in as well. And there ends our journey into the basement. So we're going to go back outside, go back to the car, rescue Poppy, and dare I say, try and do some droning. Do you think they'll allow that? Watch this space. So yeah, this has been really, really interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, we're now back outside. We achieved our goals, didn't we?
Yes.
Our mission was successful. Should we go up these steps? Yeah, there's another galleried area up here. Whenever I see these constructs, I'm so reminded of Venice. I'm sorry, but I am. This is absolutely exquisite, isn't it? sure if you can see the ceiling, but I'll try. The carving and the detail here. And the view from the top looking across. Yeah, surely it is beautiful here. I think I've spotted where we can drone from, darling. Yeah, we see that gateway I walked through earlier. We need to go in there. Well, so far we've avoided their tight security here to stop people getting pleasure taking video and pictures. We need to go over there, I think. Oh no, I don't, but I need to check it first. If it's suitable, then we can go back. But what do you think of this place? I mean, you've been here as a child. You came here, or young woman. You came here at.
Yeah.
Are you always impressed with this place?
I always liked it. Yes.
It is
Nice
lovely.
escape. It's a nice escape room.
Do you know whether or not it's haunted?
From Bucharest.
Must be haunted.
It doesn't give me any vibes, but then again, it doesn't always have to be the vibe. It feels quite peaceful.
It actually, yeah, I didn't feel anything negative in there. But then you see that could change when it gets dark.
Of course.
Well, anyway, folks, we hope you've enjoyed this little wander around with us and have enjoyed a somewhat sneaky tour of the actual museum itself. But unfortunately, you have to do these things sometimes. I hope it didn't ruin your pleasure of the video by the occasional hiding of the camera from gaze. But to lead us out, here's some drone video which we shot again sneakily while we were at the park. And of course, until the next time, speak to you soon. Bye bye.